My YouTube link is in the description. We're trying to get it to work on YouTube because this is where it was originally supposed to take place, was YouTube. I cannot. Wait, what is that? Is that a charger? Is that the charger I need? And it's all tangled up. All right, hang on. Let me. What was that? That was my vape. That's great. That's fan. All right, hang on. Let me plug this up into this other charger and try to save. I'm dying. Oh, someone just said that he got the notification that the YouTube live is up. Can you?
But I can't find video. Try Cyberlink.
My husband's trying to fix it.
That'll work? No.
Oh, I've only got 23 seconds remaining of live on here anyway. So I guess we'll keep messing with the YouTube live because this is about to cut off. So the link is in my description.
I'm a G.
He figured it out. So links in my description.
But no voice. It's just seeing me look like the past 10 minutes. So I don't know. Very laggy.
Alright, go live.
Live.
Down here. Go down here. Go down here.
Hello. I'm waving. It's not. It's
right,
super laggy. I don't know if people can even hear me.
Can you cancel this one and start a new one? I see Chase. It's working. I can't figure it out. Can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us? Because that's what we can't figure out is if anyone can hear us.
Audio. Source.
You are amazing. Thank you.
Anything else?
But still, I mean, you're on the verge of
I can't get audio, I don't think, unless these people are hearing us and know it.
Oh, yeah, they can hear us. Okay, awesome.
Alright, then yeah, you got it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you.
Liam's got the remote. Liam's got the remote. And he's gonna mess up your
Okay. Okay, so now that we actually have everyone here, because I've been trying to do this on Instagram because it wasn't working. Thank you, baby. So I was trying to do this on Instagram. I was trying to do it on Instagram and it wasn't working out too well. So there's noise. Okay, awesome. So the Q&A can now start, and it seems like this is lagging a lot. But whatever.
I don't know if you can type answers.
Yeah. Yes, Max is in the back.
Just tell him sorry. Your computer can't handle it, and I don't have a cam for my gaming PC. Otherwise, you would use it. Stop me.
It's awesome.
Can they see that? Go to settings right here. Make sure it's.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, light behind me is messing up. Okay, hang on. We can fix this. Let's put more light in front of me.
So look.
I'm gonna.
With your son.
Well, I don't know. Keep him away from it.
I'm going outside.
Take him out with you.
I can't. The mosquitoes are eating me.
There's Booksmart.
Damn.
Hop down, baby. Hop down. Okay, hang on. How's training going with him?
By the way, guys, sorry. I'm not going to be on this live one once it's figured out better. Maybe I will be on that, but
Liam, no.
I got to watch my show.
Alright. Okay, so lighting is better. Max is doing good. We actually went out to a really nice restaurant with our aunt earlier today, and it's called Brio's, And then we went to Target, and he did really good. He, you know, he's doing good. All of his training, he's doing phenomenal. He really is. Yes, it is a tiny house. Literally a very, very tiny house. Let me go up here to the video so I can try to show y'all. So, I don't know. I can't see this. That's our ladder. The ladder goes up to our room. That door over there is our bathroom. And then there's a door right here, which is our sunroom. It is a very tiny house. Max is a Border Terrier Lab mix. His DNA test says that like one of his great grandparents was a Border Collie, and that like less than 5% of his DNA is like a Poodle, a Carolina dog, and a Rat Terrier. I don't believe the Rat Terrier. With his personality, I can see the Poodle or the Carolina dog, but he's mostly, you know, Lab and Border Terrier. One of those were purebred, and the other one, you know, like say the Border Terrier was a purebred, and then like the Lab was like Lab, and like, you know, one of its parents would have been like a Border Collie or something. So one of the parents was mixed with a Border Collie, but one of the parents was purebred. Max is almost a year and a half. Liam, no. We don't touch. Don't touch. Yes, Mackenzie. It can be racking to take them out. Obviously, you know, before you start taking them out, definitely, you know, make sure absolutely that they're potty trained. And, you know, try to have at least a good sit down, maybe working on a stay, but to where you can at least tell them to sit, you know, maybe they're not pulling on the leash as much, just so that, you know, you go out and, you know, the dog's not completely out of control. But it's going to be nerve-wracking for the first couple of weeks. You're trying to get used to everything. You're worried about, are you going to run into public access problems, and, you know, you're worried about, like, am I going to have a problem going in here? What if someone tries to pet them? You know, you're going to worry about all of those different things. Right now, your service dog in training is young enough to where it would probably be good for you to have, you know, certain people that you choose. For me, when you're socializing a dog, especially social dogs, they have to be very well socialized. I let some people pet Max, depending on if I'm having a good day, but the only people that I'll let pet him are the people who say, I know I'm not supposed to, but can I? Or, you know, the people that say, not so much that ask me, let me rephrase. I let more so the people that say, I know I can't pet him, but can I ask you some questions about him? And those are normally the people, like, you know, I'll answer their questions, and I'll be like, thank you so much for understanding. Go ahead and, you know, you can pet him real fast. But, you know, you can definitely choose the... Uh-oh, you fall? What happened? Come here. You okay? Okay. It's okay. What happened? What happened? You went boom? You'll go boom? Boom! Boom! But, you know, definitely let... you know, it's socialized with some people. You know, let some people pet, just so you know that the dog's going to be good with other people coming up to him. But you don't have to let everyone pet. And definitely don't let the assholes pet your dog. Anxious with an SD. Doesn't he have allergies? What? Hang on. What food do you feed him for that? Must be expensive to buy, especially fish-based. Okay, so Max, right now, there's an ant on my hand, is eating Blue Buffalo Basics limited ingredient grain-free dog formula. It's salmon and potato recipe. There is no chicken in this. He is highly allergic to chicken. Blue Buffalo actually sent us 3 big bags for free. Before we went to that, there is a cheaper brand. It's a Petco brand, and it is. Come here, Max. Max, come here. It's a cheaper brand. It's Petco. It's called Wholehearted, and it's like salmon, grain free. Those are only like $20 a bag. But you know, while I can keep him on the higher quality food, I'm going to. But you know, eventually, I'm not gonna have the money to keep him on a $60, you know, bag of dog food. So we'll end up dropping back down to that other. But this food, you know, this is enough to last him for a couple of months. And he also has a very bad grass allergy. Let's see. Mackenzie, then absolutely go ahead, bring him out. You know, don't be too nervous. You know, just make sure you know your laws. I'm assuming you're educated. You know, I'm assuming you know your laws. You know your rights. And if you have to, you know, try to educate people. If you have a, you boomed your head. Come here, you went boom. You boomed your head. Oh, no. Oh, no. Come here. You went boom. You bringing me everything? Oh, it's okay. But you know your laws, you know your rights. If you have to educate people, do so. Try to be as polite and all as you can. Let's see. Anxious with an SD. His River Dog Gear Vest. I hear she does an interview for her buyers. What is that about? An interview. I don't know about an interview. When you do go to message for a vest, she does ask you if you have a service dog, you know what it's training for. She asks you, the two legal questions. Is a service dog required for a disability, and what task is it trained to do or training to do? Just so that she's making sure that she is weaning out the fakes and only making vests for legitimate service dogs. Ella Brand, bye. All right, bye. Okay, Mackenzie. Then yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. You already know everything that you need to. It is a lot more nerve-wracking with a puppy because it's a puppy. But, same concept. Only difference is it's young. You're going to have a little more patience because puppies, they're babies. You're going to have a little more patience. Sorry. Caitlin, Jasper's 2.5 years, and I know at 3 it can be shown for a train. What could I do? He knows basic obedience, potty train, some tasks, but he needs to work on leash walking and retrieving. I haven't done any retrieving with Max yet. I know that, you can probably find tons of different things like in some of the Facebook groups about that. It's something I want to work on, but it's not something I have worked on yet. As far as leash walking goes, if they're a puller, something I have found useful is, and I've used this on a lot of different dogs, where, after like 5 minutes they were increasing, noticeably, very different and weren't pulling as much. The cheaper way, have a harness. Jay's taking it in the corner. Yes, he doesn't want to be on. But have a regular, walking harness. And every time the dog walks ahead of you or starts pulling, what I'll do is I'll tap leash. I'll go tap, 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 and like pull in the leash like this. And they don't I don't do it enough to hurt them, but it's annoying and dogs don't like it. So they're going to be like, hey, what are you doing? You're going to be able to get them to slow down enough. And every single time they start getting too far ahead, you tap, tap, tap. And, eventually they get the idea. Some dogs, it's not that easy. E-collar training can help with that as well after you've taught them, gone about doing e-collar training correctly.
Hold on, she's putting little man to bed.
I know, baby. Good night, okay? I know. But you brought me your blanket. You brought me your monkey. Night, night, baby. Y'all are just going to have to deal with the baby crying in the background. He cries to go to sleep. He brought me his blanket and all out here. And he was trying to climb in my lap. So he's ready to go to bed. Because it is 9:21. But, yeah. So e-collar training, if done right, you can use it for so many things. I'm using it so much more with Max other than just his recall training. So, if you do it right, you can absolutely, use it for other things. So I've noticed, obviously you use it to help train with the recall, to teach them to come back to you. So I've noticed that the same concept, when they start to pull or get too far ahead of you, if you hit that vibrate, this is actually something I was doing with a big German Rottweiler the other day, which is how I messed up my finger, for those of you who saw that video. But horrible leash. Pulls like horrible. We started with the collar, and then we moved on to working on the leash after we had been working for probably about 30 minutes with the e-collar. This dog, he was not tired. Like, we trained for about 2 hours before he was finally like, okay, I'm done. And then we went until he was ready to be done. But working with the e-collar, every time he'd pull ahead, whether he was pulling or, he just started getting ahead, we pulled the leash back, put pressure on the leash, tapped the e-collar. He moved back to us, we changed direction. I had her do the same thing, and we repeated that over and over and over. Now, by the end of the session, he was not pulling really at all. He'd start getting ahead, but he wasn't just plunging into, his heart, or he was on a collar, he wasn't even on a harness. He wasn't just plunging into it, pulling and taking off. He, tremendously improved, and she said that he has not walked next to her at all since he was a puppy, and he's almost 2. And, so, obviously, I've sent her home with her homework, and she's been doing the same thing. He's not an SD prospect or anything like that. He's just a dog that, needs some help. He's very overstimulated. And, that's something I can help with. And, so the e-collar, I've noticed, is so helpful. And so many people look at it as such a bad thing. But if you can teach your dog not to pull, not to run off, just by vibrating their neck, why wouldn't you do it? If you do it right, you're not using it as a punishment, which we weren't. Every time he'd come back, he got treats, he got love. He's obsessed with his Kong. So he'd get his Kong, and things like that. So he was getting rewarded, even though he was getting buzzed. He was getting rewarded. Yes, Layla S, a head collar, or the harness with the front leash, the no pull harnesses, those do work, yes. Max uses the head collar, not because he pulls, but just because his vest, I don't want to walk him off of his vest, and his regular harness under his vest rubs. So yes, the head collar or the harness, no pull harnesses do work. That is something that I've actually told people to do, and other people have had a lot of success with that. But if you don't have all of that, and like if you have other problems, like your dog doesn't have a good recall, your dog chews up this, your dog, whatever, has a bunch of problems, instead of buying this and buying that and then buying this, trying to buy all these different things to solve the problem. If you work with an e-collar, you can solve a lot more problems just with the one thing. But yeah, a head harness or harness or the head collar will absolutely work. Not a puller, but loves to walk in front of me. When he sees a dog, he immediately wants to play. So he's not a puller, but he likes to walk in front of you. Do that leash tapping. I think that would help a lot. Max, that's actually what I did with him. He wasn't a puller, but he would get ahead of me. And, we've only had the e-collar for, a couple of weeks. And so, obviously when I first got him, I didn't have it. But he would walk ahead of me. He was really, well leash trained. But, obviously not to the standard of a service dog or a service dog in training. So every time he'd walk and he'd pull ahead, I'd tap, tap, tap the leash. And then, he'd slow down, he'd look at me, and we'd continue walking. And I would do that every day. We'd go on a walk, and I'd spend 30 minutes to an hour just outside walking them around until, he was tired and wanted to come in. And it only took about 3 days, actually, to get him to completely walk right next to me and not, ahead of me. Yeah, Max doesn't care about dogs. But we actually were around puppies today, and he sniffed them, his tail was wagging, but that's it. He doesn't care. Can't get my service dog to stop taking off to the neighbor's house. Any tips on that? How to get them to stop? He wants to go play with the neighbor's dogs. E-collar training could work with that. Again, it's just working on your recall, a solid recall, and it doesn't matter where your dog's going or what your dog's trying to do. A solid recall, your dog's going to come back. So Max had no recall. I'm sure y'all seen that video. Some of you, I'm sure, have, where we were doing a training session out front, and in the middle of it, he took off, and he was running around underneath our family's house next door, and then, he came running back. He had no recall whatsoever. He'd sit and stay, but as far as him being outside and running around, he didn't have a recall. The e-collar training has literally changed that so much. I can take him outside off leash now, and he can do what he wants. I don't shock. Every time I vibrate and he'd come back, he got treats, he got love. I made it very, very positive because I really believe in positive training and positive reinforcement. I don't think that I'm sure e-collar training by itself could work, but I don't want the dog to feel like it's a negative thing. And so, even if you're using the e-collar, and even if it's just vibration, if you use it right and like you're giving treats and things like that, it's wonderful. Shelby, get on. Let me grab the box. We got ours off of Amazon. One of our Instagram followers actually sent it to us. I had won a bandana, and she couldn't get the bandana, and then she was like, pick something on Amazon for $15, and I found a cheap e-collar. And it's like, well, we don't trust that. So she ended up actually sending me this one. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. It's is that Pet Ainer, Pet Liner? I don't know. It was $35. This is what the box looks like. So if you get on Amazon, you type in e-collar. It's dead right now, but basically you've got your mode, you got your settings. That goes to shock. That is the light. Oh wait, that's your light. Sound, and then vibration here, which it's all the way up at 30 for some reason. And then you hit this button. Oh, it's not dead, and it vibrates. Of course you have the shock and stuff like that, but we don't use shock. I actually want to try to figure out how to take these out, because I think I can do that. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But it was $35. It's not bad, and it works. It really, really does work. So I suggest it. If you can spend $35 on something that works, why not do it? Hang on, I'm behind on comments. I think I skipped some. Okay, a head collar harness. Okay, we read that. Anxious with an SD. When you have a service dog, do people talk about you saying both negative and positive things when you were right there as well, or is that just me? It's annoying to hear I want one too, or oh, a dog. All the time, every single time we go out, it's, oh look, it's a dog. Oh, look at its boots. Oh, I wonder what's wrong with her. Oh, I want to bring my dog everywhere. Most of the time I be quiet until I hear someone say something like, can I bring let's go get our dog and bring him up here next time. And then I'm like, that's illegal, service dogs only, and I jump into like a sassy educating mode, because at that point I'm irritated. That's like, don't talk about bringing your service dog, your pet somewhere. Really quick, guys, while I'm thinking about it, what's it called? Hang on 1 second. I gotta get the thingy. I got some things in the mail earlier, and this is my trash bag. I unboxed everything from my GoPro, as y'all saw, and then I had 2 other packages that came in, and one of them was Max's nail clippers. My finger. And then the other was something else, and I want to share this with y'all. Where is it? Did I bring it inside, or did I leave it? Okay, let me go through my trash bag of things. So I want to share this. Here it is. Instagram, online, whatever. So they sent this to me for free. It's a medical ID bracelet. It's just one of their Velcro ones. It's not pretty, but I filled out my stuff. So what you do is with this, these are normally $14. There's a little slip here. I filled out my card earlier. You slip your card into there. You put it on. That's upside down. That'll bother me. You strap it in. They have different sizes. You measure your wrist. Make sure you get the right size. So y'all go check out Lauren's Hope. That's not the website. Hang on. I'm going to pull all of these boxes out onto the ground and I'll put them up later. Where's the website? Is that it? Yes. LaurensHope.com. LaurensHope.com. They have tons of medical bracelets. Like, I mean, beautiful, beautiful different IDs, like bracelets. They have necklaces, and you can have your medical info engraved on them. And then they have like clips where you can buy different bracelets to clip onto the tag. Y'all need to go check them out. I really want to get one. I'm hoping maybe I can get one for my birthday. We'll see how that goes. But I'd messaged them, and since, you know, I pass out all the time, I needed something, you know, that had more detail about my medical problems. And so they just sent me their Velcro in. It's not pretty at all, but guys, go check their website out. Their stuff is so, so pretty. Like, I want some so bad. Yeah, LaurensHope.com, and it's not necessarily cheap. I think I saw some for like $30. But they've got some really, really pretty stuff. Let me kick all these boxes out of my way and get back to comments. But just before I forget about that. And now scroll down. Breadmaster. Hi, I love your videos. My brother has a service dog too. Her name is Muffin. She's such a sweet dog. Hi, Breadmaster, and thank you so much. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Caitlin, I noticed at the airport his interest in other dogs. We were waiting at check-in, and a lady was checking in with her SD, no problem at all, but Jasper was staring at the dog, didn't pull though. Yes, Max has the same problem. We're still working out of it, getting out of the problem. When he has a Z-collar on, because he kind of gets into that, like, state, like, sometimes he's fine, other times he's just, like, he stares. He doesn't do anything else, but, like, he gets such a dead stare in that I'll get him, I'll be like, focus, focus, you know, he just kind of ignores me or doesn't hear me. And so when he has his e-collar on, I'll buzz him, vibrating, whatever, when I say buzz, I mean vibrate. I'll buzz him, and he'll, what, and I'll say focus, and I'll, you know, get him to do some commands and get him to completely, you know, refocus back on me. And after that, you know, he might look back over at the dog, but after, you know, that I've done some commands and stuff like that, I've noticed that he doesn't really pay attention to him as much anymore. We're definitely still getting over that. I think that's his biggest distraction is, like, seeing other dogs. But it's probably because he doesn't really see other dogs. He doesn't really play with other dogs. My best friend has a SD in training as well. And they see each other sometimes, but they don't really play together. And then we have a black dog next door, Bentley. Y'all probably seen him in some of my videos in the background. I don't know. But
that one next door. Fuck you.
Well, okay, it's Chase's dog. I'm sorry.
Bentley's the best dog in the world. Better than any dog you could ever have.
You're going to have a lot of service dog trainers on here calling you out, saying your pet dog's not as good as ours.
Seriously?
No, Bentley is awesome, and if he had problems, Bentley would be an amazing service dog. Them two have a connection like most service dog handlers do with their service dogs.
Better than any human could have with a dog.
Oh,
with that dog.
Yeah, he makes out with his dog, and it's disgusting. He hasn't been doing it as much, but I mean tongue and tongue, and it is disgusting. Like,
I like dogs. I don't care.
He's tried getting Max to do it, and I get on to Max. I'm like, don't you dare.
No,
but yeah.
Explain to him, me and Bentley traveled across country.
Yeah, Chase used to travel, like, he hitchhiked across country for years, and he actually picked Bentley up out in California. And so, you know, they were on the road, you know, on the side of the street, you know, out in California, homeless, you know, camping out in the woods with other hitchhikers, things like that. And so they went through a lot together. But, so they are really close. They really do have an amazing bond. All right, let's continue to go down through these comments.
I told you about the right side, left side thing.
What?
I told you should do the right side, left side thing.
I'm confused.
The right side, left side, to the right thing. I'm the one told you.
You mean turn right, turn left? Oh. Did you tell me to do that? Apparently Chase told me. I didn't realize he told me
I
that.
also told you should train him to where when you say left side, he goes to the left. When you say right side, he goes to the right.
Well.
You ain't done that. It's not listening to me.
Oh, you didn't heat me and heat pizza up. You're an ass. It smells so good. Okay. Darcy and Rico. Hi, make me your friend. Okay. Okay, sure. Add us on Instagram. You're more than welcome to message us anytime. Jinx the Wolf. Hey, Darcy and Rico. I think your caps lock is on. Do you live in Texas, Fred Master? I live in Dallas. I know she said y'all a lot. We live in Alabama. So, yeah, she lives in Alabama. Yep, you got it. My mom used to work, Jinx the Wolf, my mom used to work at the American Airlines in Fort Worth, Texas, and she said that they allowed ESTs. Oh, emotional support dogs. And they got calls all the time from this dude who would always ask how he could fly with his dog. What? Okay, I'm kind of confused on that one. Like, I don't feel like I quite understand. Y'all will notice when it comes to things, like when I've been having like a rough couple of days, it's harder for me to comprehend and understand things. Caitlin, I would get one, but talking about the collar, but I have to be careful considering I've spent so much money on his gear. Absolutely, I completely agree. If it wasn't for so many of you guys that have, sent us things, like one of you sent us a 50-foot long lead along with a seat belt, one of the seat belts, and some poop bags. And then, it was actually Benny and the Brunette. I had one that's on Instagram. I had one her giveaway, and I was supposed to get the bandana, and she kept messing up on it for whatever reason. She did not have to go and spend, an extra $20 because we had said $15. This was $35. She didn't have to go and spend $35 to send this to me, but she did, and I appreciated it so much. And then, we've had, Blue Buffalo help us out, and PetFlow help us out, and all these other amazing people help us out. And if it wasn't for so many of these companies that have helped us out, especially because of his food allergy, all of the fish treats and, fish dog foods, they are so expensive. And when you can't work and you have a child on top of it, it makes things so much more difficult. And, it's hard to, get everything they need. Finally, he has most of his summer gear. I'm not worried about it for the rest of the summer. Summer's starting to come to an end. Well, not really, but, school's about to be starting back up. He doesn't have a cooling vest, and he doesn't have a life jacket. I'm not worried about the life jacket this year, but I am definitely going to be worried about it next year. Actually, I am worried about it this year because we're going to be going to New Orleans sometime in August to go visit family. We might, they have a crab boat, so we might go out on the boat, so I'll probably have to get him a life vest anyway. But I was wanting to get him one to teach him water retrieval, water rescue for when I'm in the water and I'm going to pass out and he alerts and stuff. But looks like I might have to get him one anyway. But he does need a cooling vest and, obviously the life jacket. And he should be good on his summer gear after that. But gear is expensive. He has no winter gear at all. I've got to get all of his winter gear. That's going to be something that, we just have to try to put a little money here and a little money there aside to get, I'm going to have to get him some actual winter boots. His shoes now, those Grip Treks, they'll work for a little bit, but once it starts getting really cold, he'll have to have actual winter shoes, and obviously a jacket because his vest isn't going to keep him warm. I feel like lots of us live in Texas. We took Muff in Hawaii. She loved it. I want to go to Hawaii so bad. Someone bring me. I'm sorry, I'm going slow through these comments. Anxious with an SD. I have found so many SDs in the area, it's crazy. My trainer has a few teams. I've made lots of friends that know about SDs. Baby! Chase makes out with his dog. I don't know how to respond to that.
What?
It says Chase makes out with his dog. I don't know how to respond with that. He makes out with his dog more than he makes out with his wife, okay?
I don't make out with my dog. I just don't care what my dog looks in the face. It wants me in the mouth. Give me in the mouth.
No. Okay, I'm gonna get TMI with y'all here, and I'm going to recreate the scenario. Max, come here. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that, Max.
I'll do it. Come here, Max.
No, don't you dare. No. Good boy, you didn't do it.
He licked my tongue.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No. Oh, you're nasty. You're not, I'm done with you. I'm done. But no, like literally, Bentley, this is Bentley's tongue. Bentley's tongue, Chase goes, that's what they do. It is awful.
I also lick his face like he licks like me. Like I lick his head. But like,
okay, it's just I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I treat him like he's an equal. Like I'm a dog too, because I'm nothing more than a fucking dog. I admit that. I'm a despicable dog.
That's for sure. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
I'm still a Maverick, so smash that.
I smashed it.
Smash.
So, how many of you hate Logan Paul? Chase loves him. Shelby, with my service dog Gizmo, leave it. That's a command I use for him to leave stuff alone or another dog, but when he's outside and to go to the bathroom is when he takes off, and I can't always go outside with him because of my health. E-collar, 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 e-collar. Absolutely. I know it's probably going to take you some time, but if you can't go outside, the great thing about an e-collar is after you have trained him, even if you can't go outside, you know, you can step outside or have someone else step outside with him. But if he takes off, you can hit that vibrate, and it has an option to where you can crank it up. It goes from 0 to 100. Max's working mode is about 8. And there's times where I've cranked it up to 20 because he has a strong prey drive. So I crank it up to 20 and I'll buzz him and he's like, whoa. You know, it doesn't hurt, but it's a stronger vibration and they're not expecting it. So that's a great thing about e-collars is if they're not paying attention, and, you know, of course, after you've got them used to it, because if you just start vibrating the collar and they don't understand what that means come back, they're going to take off even more because they got this thing vibrating on their neck and they want to get away from it. But once you've got them accustomed to it and trained to it, you know, you can step outside, even if your dog's down the road, yell come, you know, vibrate, and your dog should come back. But you've got to properly train him. That dog sounds like the connection between me and my cat Coco. He's disabled too, but cats can't be service animals. Jinx the Wolf, I know Drew Lynch came to Dallas a while ago and the entire audience was made up of service dogs and their owners. Yes, I wanted to go to his meetup so bad, but I live in Alabama and I can't drive that far. When it's too, Shelby, my service dog Gizmo, when it's too hot outside is why I can't always go out with him. I completely understand that. I'm really bad heat sensitive as well. So, you know, there's days where I let him out and I'll put his e-collar on. And, you know, if I don't see him or something, which he doesn't really go far, but I'll yell for him to come and I'll buzz it and he'll come right back. Caitlin, I live in Baton Rouge. Yes, you do. Baton Rouge. New Orleans is only, yep, it is only an hour or so away. When I come down there, if you have me on Instagram, message me on Instagram, text me your number. And or message me your number and I'll message you mine and we can save our numbers. I'll probably forget, but if you see me post something about us going out there, you know, you can text me or something, or message me on Instagram, you know, whatever you want to do. And we need to do a meetup for sure if you want to. We'll be in Slidell. That's where my family lives in Slidell, but we do possibly want to go into New Orleans at some point. So, Jinx the Wolf. Sorry, I ran out of space. I was going to say that he's always asked what he had to do to get his dog on the flight, and they would always answer if it's a service dog or emotional support, then it can fly with them. Okay. Because I was so confused. I was like, I kind of, that confused me for a second. I was like, so like he kept calling, but he didn't get an answer. That's why I was kind of confused. But okay. That makes more sense. Anxious with the service dog. We have a contract with our trainer. It won't let us use those so-called controversial products such as e-collars. I guess because of the shock mode. They only permit gentle leaders. Yeah, I would imagine it is the shock mode because so many people, most of the time I've noticed people don't even call it an e-collar. They call it shock collars. But, you know, I absolutely, you know, I was apprehensive about it. But after we started using it, Guys, I love it. I would do it all over again. And this 120-pound German Rottweiler that I'm working with right now, his issue is that his owner keeps him locked up in a crate all the time. She's always at work, and then he can't come in the house, blah, blah, blah. Well, a lot of details I'm not going to go into. Basically, I told her, you know, he's way too overstimulated. Get an e-collar, because we can work on him being able to run around outside. We can work on his leash walking. We can work on him wanting to chase after the cats, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because you can use it for all of those things. So she bought it. She had it when she came out the other day. But this dog, he's so overstimulated because he's never out. So basically, after she left, I was like, one, if you want me to continue to help you, you are going to move your dog's crate out of the garage and at least into your house. There's no reason, if your dog has to be in a crate, fine. There's no reason to leave your dog in a crate in the garage where you know it's going to get too hot. She messaged me later that night telling me that she had the crate in the house. So she moved him in the house. And now he's having problems where one of the cats, when the cat jumps like off the fridge or something, he wants to chase it. And, you know, things like that, and, you know, more things that we're going to address. And now, you know, he's whining in his crate, things like that. And I'm like, well, all the other animals feeling vulnerable because he's locked up and the other animals are out running around. I was like, you can't keep him locked up all the time. You know, you got to let him out. Even if, you know, you got to hang out, you know, just to hang out with your dog because your dog loves you. Will you ever come to Ohio? If so, we could do a meetup. I doubt it. I would like to go around and just like do traveling. I don't know. I guess if the channel ever got big enough, then, you know, absolutely I would drive around, do meetups or things like that, or, you know, whatever. I would absolutely love to do that, but not anytime soon. I haven't seen my family out in Louisiana in over 2 years, since before I was pregnant. And we're doing our best to save up as much money as we can to get out there. What is in my hair? I don't know what that was. But if I'm ever out that way, absolutely, we should absolutely do a meetup. Or if you're ever come out here for whatever reason, like maybe you want to drive to Florida to go to the beach. On your way to Florida, swing by here and we'll hang out. Caitlin, definitely depending on what happens with school. I'm going to be a freshman in high school this year. Congratulations. That is awesome. I remember my freshman year. I stayed for 2 months and then went back to homeschooling. I got in too many fights. I was a bad kid as a kid, guys. Like, I hung with the wrong crowd. I skateboarded as well. So I was just like, I was wild. I was a wild child, no lie. Anxious with an SD. What are your views on breed-based stereotypes? I've had trouble with people making fun of Oliver simply because he looks like a pit. He's a rescue, so we aren't sure, but it has made life so hard. I say fuck them all. I grew up with pit bulls. My dad used to breed them. We raised them. We trained them. We sold them. That was what we did. So, you know, obviously I grew up with tons of dogs, specifically pit bulls. I grew up helping breed them, helping, you know, I was always there for the births of the puppies. I would actually help training all of the puppies so that they had basic obedience before they left. My dad didn't do that. I did that. I remember being like 8 years old, working with every single puppy. And like every day I would go through and work with each puppy every single day. And that's like all I did. I spent all of my time with the puppies. And so I would always train them to sit and lay down and, you know, come to their names, or like if they were pre-bought and the owners had a name for them and like, well, we're going to name them this. I would teach them their names, things like that. So I was always around dogs, and I was always around pit bulls. I'm not going to lie. I was honestly hoping Max had some pit bull in him. I knew he wasn't going to, but I was hoping so bad because I love pits. And, you know, rescues, there's nothing wrong with rescues. Rescues are the best dogs. I truly believe that. There's nothing wrong with the rescue. And I think breed-based stereotypes, I think they're ridiculous because it's not about the dog, it's about the owner. Pit bulls are some of the sweetest dogs I've ever had in my life. They are such family dogs. And if you're not raising and breeding them to fight, all they want to do is be a family dog. And, you know, I believe that pit bulls actually make better family pets and family dogs than a lab or a golden retriever, your typical family dog. Shelby, I'm going to Georgia in March to see my mom. Well, Georgia is right next to us. I'm near Birmingham. If you want to take a detour this way, if you want to message me on Instagram whenever, you know, next year, if you remember about it, if you want to message me on Instagram, you have time, you can take a detour on the way there, on the way back, and we can go out, you know, maybe go to the mall. There's a mall like 15 minutes from me. It's one of those outdoor malls. But we can go out there and we can hang out with some of my other service dog friends that live around here. Caitlin, what is your opinion on a service dog or service dog in training wearing thunder shirts? I let Jasper wear one usually only when it's cold or going to a place that will be cold, but also for some anxiety he has. I feel like we talked about this. I talked about this with someone. Thunder shirts and service dogs. I don't think there's a problem with it. You know, obviously, you know, your dog needs to be okay and, you know, not have problems. But I don't believe that, you know, letting your dog wear a thunder shirt for some mild anxiety, like you're going to a new place, they haven't been there before, or, you know, there's thunderstorms, like if your dog is scared of thunderstorms, okay, your dog's scared of thunderstorms. Throw a freaking thunder shirt on them. Their vest is going to be over it. No one's going to know what it is. They're going to think it's just a jacket or a shirt. I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't. They're dogs. They're not robots. And every single dog, even service dogs, every single one is going to have something that they are not good with. Max hates fireworks. He hates them. I made a mistake bringing him with me. He hates them. Did not do good. And we're just now getting over that. We've been having problems with loud noises since then. We're just now starting to get over that, but he's doing good. I wish I would have had a thunder shirt on him then. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I really don't, because they're dogs. They're not robots. They don't understand what's going on. So if you're gonna have your dog somewhere, and you know, I think the service dog community, not the service dog laws, service dog. Yes, you did message me on it, because I think it was something about thunder. The service dog community has put their standards. Sorry, I would do that with both hands, but, you know, I can't move that finger. But they have put their standards on what a service dog can and what a service dog can't do. Not what service dog laws say, but what the community says. And, you know, well, your dog has to be perfect. Your dog can't do this, and your dog can't do that. Well, I can almost guarantee you that all of these people that, you know, nag about all these different things that service dog can and can't do, their dog's not going to be perfect either. Their dog is going to have some sort of problem. They're dogs. They're animals. We can't communicate and be like, it's okay, it's just thunder, you know, you're going to get over it. We can't do that like we can do with the kid. Let's see. Anxious with the service dog. Of course, Oliver's so sweet, and we had a connection right away that has carried on throughout training. I've had people scared of us and shoving their kids out of the way. It's so sad. Let them be scared. I mean, whatever. The most you could do if you're up for it is be like, hey, you know, he's a service dog. Service dogs are not allowed to be aggressive in any way, and I don't normally let anyone pet him, but he's very friendly because, again, he's a service dog. They are friendly with everyone. They go through a lot of training. If you want, you can come over here and pet, because I don't want you to be scared of my dog, and I don't want you to be scared of the breed because it's a good breed. You know, whatever. Okay, comments are going. Hang on. Let me get back up here. Okay, here I am. Jasper hates thunderstorms. That's right, we did talk about it. And water bottle crinkles. Yeah, you were telling me about it. Yeah, you were telling me about you getting bashed and all. So what? If someone, no one has to know what you're doing. You don't have to tell people you're letting them do it. I mean, your dog doesn't like certain water bottles, which you can work on that. You know, absolutely work on the water, crushing the water bottle and the crinkles. Work on that. You know, that's something that you can work on. Max, leave it. But, you know, thunderstorms, whatever. Let him wear the damn thunder shirt. Who cares? He does his job. That's all that matters. Shelby with my service dog Gizmo. Sometimes people think my service dog isn't real because when Ivan's ID, I have anxiety or something's wrong with me. He will not lay down or sit for me. He wants to be right there with me. Is that bad? I think service dogs are trained, to be obedient, but they have to know a certain level of disobedience, I guess. I don't know how you would put it. But, like, if you tell your dog, you got a guide dog, you tell your dog to walk across the street, there's a car coming. Your dog's going to disobey you if it's what's best for you. If there's something's wrong with you and he knows it, and so, as long as he's not acting out or doing something bad, but he's just, more concerned about you, I don't see a problem with that. Max does that every now and then. I'm sure y'all have seen that on some of our videos where I'm telling him to get off or do something, and he's just, keeps coming right back to me, laying on top of me. He's being disobedient, but for a reason. Anxious with a service dog if it's your church, if religious. Understanding of your dog or let you in. We have not gone to a church at all yet. I've never really been a very religious person. I've been thinking about maybe getting back into it and, trying to go to church. I do kind of miss it. We were actually in cahoots about...
I don't know if federal law rules the churches.
Public places. It doesn't matter.
Churches, they're a lot different because, say, your religion says you can smoke weed and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, if it's religious-based.
Within a state that does not allow smoking weed, you cannot get in trouble as long as you're doing it there. It's
he has a point.
So,
now, if your church is religious on, say, they don't believe in medical work or service dogs, whatever, that's different. But
so there might be some. That's something that
Christianity.
Let me say this, please. You want me involved?
Go ahead.
Every individual service dog handler needs to look into this on their own when it comes to the ADA's restrictions on that. It does say that any public place, but churches are private. All churches are private property. The law has no.
But they still allow the public to come in.
They do, but law has no jurisdiction within a church.
The mall or the tanning bed I go to, that's a privately owned building.
But it's religious based.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I know, that's what I'm trying to say. Law has no jurisdiction within
over
a religious based
but not
private residence. Because of that,
it could cause problems. Yes.
It can cause an issue.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm simplifying it. But yeah, so if your religion prohibits it, then that could be different. I don't know much about too many other religions, but Christians, there's nothing that prohibits the use of service animals. So they would have no jurisdiction to say I could not bring my dog in with me, and they could not claim for religious reasons because that's not part of the religion. Jinx the Whip, I think my dog needs a service dog. Her separation anxiety is really bad, and when we would used to leave to shop, she would get mad and she would eat the freaking wall. We came home to it in pieces once, and she was just sitting there wagging her tail. She doesn't know now, but still acts like there's something wrong with her. Don't post that in any service dog groups because everyone's going to say, if your service dog needs a service dog, it can't be a service dog. I think Max might have some mild separation anxiety. I'm not sure. He's not destructive, but if I go outside, and I don't bring him with me, and I'm outside with the baby, or I walk next door because our family lives next door. If I walk next door or something, he watches. He will stand at the door and watch. And when I come in, guys, he goes crazy. He jumps, jumping around, wagging, freaking out, I haven't seen you in 20 years, whatever. But, I would definitely work on that, the destruction part. But, one of those, thunder shirts could help with the anxiety. Or give her Benadryl before you leave. I mean, I'm not condoning doping up your dog, but if you, for whatever reason, you have to, because she doesn't need to eat drywall that could be very harmful and dangerous to her, or crate train her. If you don't have a crate train her. That's actually a better thing. Get her used to a crate. Get her used to using the crate as a positive thing, and that could be like her safety, because dogs, they're a den animal. They have, in the wild, they'd have some sort of den. So crate trainer, if she's not already, and keep her in your crate when you leave and you go out somewhere. Give her some toys, give her some chews, whatever you can, to where she's not chewing up something that could hurt her, but she's also, got other things she can do. Or those, it might be boredom. It may not be separation anxiety. It could be boredom. This Rottweiler I'm working with, he's very overstimulated, but he gets bored and he'll chew up some of their stuff. What I told her to do is get some of those mental games for dogs, like the balls, where they have to roll them around and get the food out, or the puzzles. Get some of those, and I don't know, if you're gonna leave, if you know you're gonna leave that day and you can't take her with you, maybe not give her breakfast that morning if you're gonna be leaving, and divide her breakfast up into those toys, so that when you leave, she's hungry and she's gonna be more focused on getting her food out of her toys versus tearing up a wall. So if you don't give her breakfast that morning, of course, let her work with it before you just jump in and do it. Make sure she knows how to do it and how to get the food out. But that could be something, that way, if you got to leave her, it could be very well boredom, and having some mental stimulation for her to focus on, especially when it comes to food, if she's very food motivated. Let's see. Yeah, then try the mental stimulation games, because it might be boredom. If you gotta leave him, bring him out to play before you leave. Physical exhaustion. But for some dogs, physical exhaustion is not enough. To completely exhaust your dog, you have to physically and mentally exhaust them. So to mentally exhaust a dog, you can do that with training. But physically, have to physically play with them and get their energy out. But get you some of those mental stimulation toys, the balls that knock out treats, the chews that have the rubber chews that have the treats on the inside, where they have to really lick and work to get to the treat. They have the puzzle games where they have to slide them back and forth, knock them off. Get some of those and try that, and that'll keep him occupied while you're gone. It may not be anxiety. It could just be that he's bored and he doesn't have anything else to do. And if it is anxiety, it's giving him something else to focus on, because you didn't feed him that morning. So, he's late on his breakfast. So if you give him his food into there, he's going to be like, well, I'm hungry. I know she left, but I'm hungry. Let's play around with this. Now, the way you could determine if it's anxiety is if if he knows how to use that stuff. But, if he knows how to use the toys when you're there, but you leave and say he didn't use them and he never touched them, then you could relate it to anxiety, because when dogs are anxious or they're stressed, I'm sure every single one of you have gone through this, where you went to a new environment, your dog is stressed out, it's anxious, whatever, and it's refusing treats. When a dog is stressed or anxious, they're not going to eat. So if it is separation anxiety, him not eating and messing with those treat toys, even though he knows how to, that'll help you determine whether or not it is separation anxiety. All right, I went on about that a lot. Let's see. If you do, you better ask to church first, because you bring them in, because that's one place service dog can be denied, and 88 knows nothing about it. Yeah, basically, and that's like what me and Chase were discussing, religious-based reasons. But there's one church here that is Christian-based, and they denied my service dog, so please ask if you do go to a church. You need to find out why they denied your service dog. It's not a religious-based thing. There's nothing in Christianity that says, has anything against. She got denied at her Christian-based church.
Hold on. There's also some of the reason I was saying what I was saying about that.
Yeah.
There was a story I heard years ago about Rasta, and someone that all about Rasta. He got busted for smoking weed. He was at the Golden Gate Bridge.
If you can't tell, we were potheads back in the day.
That's nothing to do with it. It's
I've already said something about weed multiple times, and you have
Golden Gate Bridge, right? Which that's San Francisco, but that is I can't remember if it's federal property or state property. It's like a national, like it is not. It's a very public place, but because of
it's a marker essentially.
What it was considered a federal property or something like that. And he was practicing his religion on that by doing that. They had to drop the case because of that. And when you're talking about
because it was public.
No, public. You can't smoke weed in.
Oh, okay. No, he was smoking weed. No, sorry, all I heard was religion.
Yeah, but yes, exactly. It's your issue. Because
I
he
get
claimed
weird,
religion
and you know
on
that.
whatever it was, a state monument or federal monument, a park, whatever. He could get away with it, apparently, and I mean, this could have just been a story I heard. It's not true, but if it is true, you could also look at that. When it comes to service dogs, if a man can get away with smoking pot on this state or federal park, that y'all might not be able to, or be able to get away with it when it comes to religious-based things. I mean,
with our dogs,
when it all comes down to it, it's also about the state you're in, and it's whether or not federal law recognizes that.
That is something that would be nice to know is what does federal law say when it comes to religious-based things like churches and stuff with service dogs? That would be something really nice to try to figure out, or like if the state has something to do with that. But I wouldn't see why you would get denied a Christian-based church. I mean, I feel like you could fight that though. Because that's not something, there's nothing in the religion.
Let me tell you this, someone that was raised Catholic, went to several Christian schools and all that, no offense to your religion and all this, jack off to all those churches, because the fact is, they can do what they want. Someone that got kicked out of a Christian school for getting in a fight with a kid who is harassing the girls there. And
that's why he got kicked out?
Yeah, I got kicked out of a Christian school because he was harassing the girls, like doing things he shouldn't do, and saying things to them he shouldn't say. And me and him got in a fight.
He's considering my triggers right now.
No, he didn't do anything like that.
Oh, I thought that's what you were. You said
shut up. We were in 5th grade. No, he was just harassing them.
Okay.
So
well, you said doing things he shouldn't do and things like that. So
I hated bullies. I'm an asshole, but I hate bullies. I stuck up for them. I got in school suspension. The next year comes around, they wouldn't allow me back, but they allowed him back. I came from a poor family, but he had his sister in the school who was a good student. They allowed him back. But that following year, he pulled his pants down and pulled his dick out in front of the class, in front of everybody, and still didn't get kicked out because they paid more. The more people you had, like, more children you had in the school. See, this comes down to the whole
insurance-based thing with hospitals,
No, it wasn't insurance.
No, I know,
it was all about money and how much money your family puts into it. And that's what Christian schools are based off of, because they're not funded by the government like a public
They're
school.
funded by the money that the rich people want their kids to go to these schools. But that's what I'm saying with like hospitals and stuff. It's the same thing. If you don't have insurance and you don't have money and they know it, they're not going to give a damn about helping you and doing what you need for help versus, the person who has insurance or, is richer and has the money. It's like the same concept. He's ignoring me now. He put his headphones back on.
I've heard this stuff. We had this conversation once.
I know we had it, but I wasn't telling you. I was telling them. They're cooler than you. They make me feel more loved. They talk to me.
I love you.
They talk. Y'all talk to me more than my husband does. Like through Instagram comments and YouTube comments and on Facebook and all. I have more of a connection with y'all than my husband. I'm kidding. That's a joke, but no, like he works so much that.
Yeah, and the key is I work so much. So my life involves nothing but work. But I can't put my life at work out on social media because if I do, I could get fired if it was ever caught. And I could lose my chance of becoming.
What does that have to do? What is your putting stuff at work?
Because the only thing I have to talk about is my work. That's the only thing I take pride in is my work. And my little boy.
But you fuss at me when all I talk about is service dogs, and I take pride in it, so.
You can post that on social media. I can't.
Go back to your whatever you're doing.
Leash.
And maybe you should swallow some. Ha! I'm kidding.
I have. It helps me pass drug tests.
Oh my god. Here we are, back to the drugs, guys. She isn't a service dog, she's just a really weird dog. Okay, that's by Jinx the Wolf. They gave her some medication to help her calm down, and my mom is taking the same medication as the dog at the time. Anxious with a service dog. When I'm sleeping over, Oliver sleeps sprawled out over the pillows and blanket. I end up on the floor at the foot of the bed. I don't know how to train this. If I am there, he lays on top of me. I don't even know how to help about that, because Max doesn't sleep with me because, we live up. I sleep up a ladder. I cannot breathe when he does that. Oh, I understand that. Oh, I went down too far. Caitlin Blanchard. What are some reasons a dog may be shaking? We could be laying in bed and nothing is wrong, but all of a sudden Jasper's leg is usually shaking. Mac, I don't really know. Maybe look into some more of it. I do know when... Where is my dog? He's over here. When Mac starts getting anxious and, starts getting a little stressed out, his legs will quiver. And it's not bad, but you can see, his leg just, quivers, kind of I don't know if y'all can see that, but it quivers. And a lot of times that's due to anxiety or stress. So that's normally when we go somewhere new and he's trying to, figure the place out. I don't know why they would do that in bed. That would be something maybe to take up with your vet. Maybe give them a call, maybe ask, or next time y'all go in for a checkup, bring that up. Shelby with my service dog Gizmo. I never went back to the church because they're hypocritical. I found another church that does allow my service dog, and I like that church was better. Yeah, I'd probably be the same way. I don't think I would do something like that, continue. That's kind of why, when they brought me the discharge papers at the hospital last night, I went ahead and signed them instead of refusing. Because, why do I want to stay somewhere where they don't want me or don't want to help me? And that's kind of the same concept. I don't want to be somewhere like a church, a hospital, if I'm really that unwanted. But my anxiety, I can't anyway. So it's kind of why would I stay? And hang on, I feel like I missed some comments up front or up top. The church that denied, that's back. Caitlin Blanchard, this is why you're my favorite service dog handler. You're not judgmental at all. I try really hard not to be. I've been judged so much in my life. I think that was the only comment I missed, because I thought I'd seen something about that and I missed it. But thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Jinx the Wolf, she is a really picky eater and she likes to rip up the stuff we give her and will still play with it even if it's ripped up. Tennis ball. We have a lot of destroyed tennis balls in the house. See, I'm lucky. Max doesn't destroy toys. I'll show y'all the most destroyed toy he has is this. And it's not really destroyed. If y'all have been following us from the beginning, y'all will know that Max wasn't a toy guy until 3 weeks after I had him, and that finally got him to start playing fetch, and that finally got him interested in toys. That's the most chewed up toy he has. And it's just 3 spots. Max! You want it? What you want? Yeah. Come on, yeah. 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 Or not. Whatever. Guys, okay, I'm gonna pause really fast because I have to use the bathroom really bad. Hey, talk to them and associate. I have to pee.
I gotta pee too.
Well, I'm going first. I've been holding it longer.
Put the lights on there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she'll be back, guys. I can't read because I'm illiterate, so yeah, I'm gonna watch my show.
Okay. My hands are still wet. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Did I really heard you say I can't read because I'm illiterate? I love my husband. Kaylee Ashcraft. How do you feel when handlers allow people to pet their dogs? Example, guide dogs or hearing dogs. Do you respect decisions? Do you feel as though it makes your life harder as someone who has an alert dog? I think it depends. I don't really see a problem with it if say someone has a hearing dog. If they're with someone else and, someone asks if they can pet the dog and they say sure, they've got someone else there to help them. Same thing, with the guide dog. That handler can still hear, so they can still hear everything going on. It's just a quick pet. As someone with an alert dog, it depends. I do let some people pet Max here and there. And normally, especially when he starts getting, kind of stressed, like when we were at the dentist, he was a little nervous. There was all these different machines and things like that. He'd never been in a dentist office. Ow. Thank you. He's trying to kill me on camera. I feel like it can...
It's okay. Y'all see nothing.
I do feel like it can make life harder when it is unwanted. And I feel like that goes for anything in life. When anything is unwanted, especially when it comes to our service dogs, Max is looking at hey, what's going on? Sorry, come here. When it does involve our service dogs, it definitely can make it harder. I actually had a problem. We went to Target earlier, and when we were leaving, we were getting ready to get into the elevator to go down, and some girls came out, and they immediately went to, do this to try to pet Max. And I wasn't, I've been having a really bad night, and it kind of lingered in today. I'm feeling better right now than I was earlier, but I couldn't talk, really, and I was just no, it's illegal to distract a service dog. I couldn't really pronunciate what I was trying to say. She's just oh, okay.
Hey, where are the black plates?
The what?
I mean the white plates.
In the sink.
I want to break them.
Because, why?
I think for the way.
No, stop! You were supposed to do dishes a week ago.
I don't do dishes.
Yeah, I know, I gotta do them tomorrow.
She never does shit around here.
I don't ever do anything. I take care of the baby, I clean the house, I do the dishes, I do the laundry. You go to work. I have a 24/7 hour job. Go away. But, it can...
Yeah, mine is too, taking care of your ass.
Ha! I can't argue with that.
Yeah, no, you can't.
I really can't argue with that. Especially when I pass out outside and you gotta carry me inside, or we're at a store.
I've carried her inside so many times, it's not even funny. Also done other things to wake her up. She can tell you about that.
No, go away! We're not getting into that. Okay, but I'm sorry, we keep getting so distracted, I can't stay on topic. When it is wanted, I don't think there is an issue. When people ask me, normally if they just straight up, oh, can I pet him? I don't. If someone is a little more, which I find that very respectful, and, it depends on if I'm feeling amazing and, I feel like the person is a nice person, I'll be yeah, just a quick pet, and I'll tell Max, I'll give him his signal. Thank you, bud. I'll give him his signal, which I touch his nose and I point out and I say hi. And, then he'll lean his head forward and, they can pet him. And, but there's times, I don't feel good. I'm no, he's working right now. I love when people say, I know I'm not supposed to pet them or anything like that, but can I talk to you and can I ask you questions? I love that. And normally we'll talk, and, by the time we're done talking, I'm feel free to go ahead and pet him, please. I'll give Max his say hi cue. And I love it when people are more respectful, because when you're respectful, you're more likely to get more positive results. So it just depends. If you don't want your dog to be touched at all, that's fine. That's up to you. It depends person to person. But if you want to let people touch your dog, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. It varies handler to handler, absolutely. How do you feel anxious with the service dog? How do you feel about those crazy or new diets that people feed their dogs, raw, vegetarian, vegan, etc.? Should you respect the choices made even if you wouldn't try them yourself? I think you should always respect anyone's decisions in life, unless they're trying to kill themselves. Then don't respect that decision coming from someone who has had, problem with that. Never respect, if you think someone is suicide or something, don't respect that decision. But every other decision in life, absolutely. I think feeding raw, I think that is perfectly fine. I believe that is very healthy. Any real meat for your dog is going to be healthier, or vegetables as well, is going to be healthier than just kibble. and then you know how much meat, how much protein and things like that they're getting. When I can, I give Max raw salmon and or cod, you know, whatever fish I can get. I give him raw meat and then vegetables. So salmon, you know, fish is expensive. So normally what I do is I buy the canned meats, like canned salmon. I'll buy some of that. I'll rinse it out, and then I'll put it in his bowl. And he does really good with it. And then I'll mix, like if I do that night, I'll do that and maybe mix some peas and some carrots in there with it. Vegetarian and vegan, I have not heard of that, but I have heard about it with cats. Personally, I say hell no, for the fact that cats, dogs, they're omnivores. They have to have protein. They can't really survive on a vegetarian, vegan diet unless they are getting some other source of protein and calcium and things like that that you get from meats. But you should always respect the choices made, even if you wouldn't try them yourself. Absolutely. I'm not going to hound someone about it. I might be like, you know, they still need protein, but, you know, whatever. To each their own. Oh, okay. Caitlin Blanchard, about Oliver in the bed. If you ever find out how to train that, tell me. Jasper will bark and growl and cry in his sleep, even run. Max does that as well. If I ever find out, I will absolutely tell you. Max does pretty good about kind of curling up. Even when we were in the hospital bed last night, when we were at the ER, he didn't really sprawl out. He kind of curled. Y'all saw, if y'all are on my Instagram, y'all saw the pictures I posted. I also posted them on our Facebook. Which, why does our Facebook have, like, no one on it? Like, come on, if you are following our Instagram and our YouTube and you have a Facebook, you need to go like our Facebook page. I think you have to look under, it's either Service Dog Paws or Service Dog Max. I think it's like, I don't know, it's weird. Let me, I've got trash on the floor. Oh, my phone's dying because someone took it off the charge. Alright, hang on. So, everything's going really slow when I need it to go fast. I'll look at that comment in a minute. So, I think, if I type in Service Dog Paws, oops, on Facebook, does it pop up? Okay, it pops up. If I hit Service Dog Paws, what comes up? Yeah, so it'll come up as Service Dog Paws or Service Dog Max. So, y'all see that? That's our Facebook. Service Dog Paws, Service Dog Max, whatever you have to do to find it. It's a picture of Max. It's not hard to find. There's only, how many people? 18. 18 people. We can do better than 18 people, guys. Come on. If you don't have Instagram, I try to post everything I post on Instagram on Facebook as well. Okay, anyway, back down. Shelby with my service dog Gizmo. The only toy my service dog plays with is a tennis ball, and I don't know why. Max was like that, and then I finally got him to start playing with other toys. Can I hit that button and it go down? No, that button doesn't work. Jinx the Wolf at Anxious with a service dog. Does Oliver look like he has frog legs when he lays down? Nova likes to take up as much space as possible. Will just stare at you if you tell her to move. That's funny. Max, he was actually having one of those. Ow, I moved my finger. I tried to scratch my ear with it and it hurt. It was funny because the other night he was going, and his legs were just doing this. Like both of his front legs, they were just like, this one wasn't moving as much, but the one underneath was just moving even faster, and his back legs were like twitching. It was so funny. Anxious with the service dog could probably stand him laying on top of me if it wasn't a night farter. Do they have gas pills for dogs? Chase, you should know the answer to this. Do they have gas pills for dogs? His dog farts a lot. He doesn't know. It was more a joke. Oh my god. Hang on, I went way. Okay, here we go. I don't know. Let's see. Shelby with my service dog Gizmo. Is it okay to cook the meat first before you give it to your dog? Absolutely. Don't give any cooked bones. Cooked bones, especially chicken bones and things like that. I don't think any bone should ever be cooked when you give it to a dog because it becomes a lot more brittle and then it's prone to breaking off.
Boiled.
What? Broiled bones?
They say boiled, like beef bones. Is that fair?
Yeah, okay. boiled beef bones
said.
are okay, is what they say. I'd look into it. I don't think, if you're gonna cook the meat, I think you should cut the meat off first and then just give them the bone if you want to let them have the bone. I don't think you should cook bones. I just think there's too much of a chance of them chipping.
Oh, and don't give your dogs venison raw.
Why not raw venison? I've seen a lot of people that give raw venison.
Because the gas that comes from it will choke you to death.
So you mean it's the smell?
Bentley.
Oh, okay. He's talking about the poop. This is a funny
No,
story. No, the farts.
Bentley ate, when I was in Rainbow Camp, self-staying camp, that was in Tennessee. Bentley ate raw venison because people would come and drop off extra deers they killed as donations to help the commune. Well, the pieces that you in the spine and all that you wouldn't use, that you couldn't get meat off of, that was necessarily viable for a human, we gave to the dogs. And my grandfather came and picked me up for Christmas, and on the way back, it was pouring down rain, like bullets, like to the point of where
This is so funny though.
it was just hitting hard. And we had to ride with the front windows down the whole time, because my dog had such horrible gas after 2 weeks of consuming raw venison and eating venison bones, which they can eat raw bones. That's not going to hurt, at least deer bones. That won't hurt them. Never had a problem with that. But the smell was so rank. It was the worst. Me and my grandfather couldn't stop cussing my dog because it was so bad. And we had a 3 or 4 hour trip back to Birmingham on nothing but dog farts.
That's funny.
So,
and y'all were getting rain on the whole time because the windows had to be down.
Yeah.
I love that story. Let me see. I thought raw feeding was better for dogs because it has less fillers. I want to do this with Jasper, but it's pretty expensive. I would say so. If you look at any ingredients on your dog food bag, you're going to see a lot of byproducts. You're going to see a lot of this and that. And you're going to see a lot of things that you don't know what they are. It's not just going to be, just because it says it's chicken, 9 times out of 10, unless you're getting really expensive, it's not going to be real chicken meat and like vegetables. There are going to be a lot of fillers. So yes, I would say that raw feeding is better because you know what you're giving your dog. You're not giving them a bunch of byproducts and random stuff. You're giving them actual vegetables and meat. It is pretty expensive, but from what I have seen, I got hiccups. From what I have seen and what I have heard, it costs about the same price of feeding a high brand dog food. So it would be maybe like $10 more, like say $60 a month on a bag of Blue. It would be maybe $70, $80 a month to raw feed. But I don't know. I'm having fun. So it depends. Like even if you just raw feed a couple of days out of the week, it's a lot healthier. Raw fed dogs have less allergy problems. It's something I want to do with Max, but I just don't have the money. Kaylee Ashcraft, I wondered because I have friends, twins, who both have service dogs. One has a hearing dog, the other has an alert dog, and they have a lot of problems with people being upset when they can't pet both dogs. Yeah, you're going to go through that when, you can't pet both dogs or pet either dog, any service dog. People are going to get upset and they're going to feel offended, like, well, you should be able to pet them. I wouldn't worry about it. Sometimes one person's going to be okay and one person's not. What? Stop kicking my seat. He's kicking the butt of my seat.
My seat.
Jinx the Wolf, no one uses Facebook anymore. Caitlin, I think it's Service Dog Max. Okay. Do you watch any other service dog channels? If so, what are your favorites? Okay, stop. I'm still going through questions. I've got to get to at least...
It's never going to stop.
Good, I hope they don't. I love the Fry Life. Like, absolutely, I'm in love with the Fry Life. That's probably the only channel I really know off the top of my head. Then, you've got Drew Lynch. I love Drew Lynch. I feel like there's a couple of other teams that, I like to watch a lot. Hang on. Because I can't remember anything. Let me go, I guess, to my channel and try to find my subscriptions. I don't know where to find this. Here it is. Smoky Paws. I like to watch her. I've been watching her vlogs. I actually started doing that recently, but I really like her stuff. Again, I love the Fry Life. I don't know. I think that's really... I don't really watch a lot of service dog teams. I watch a lot of other YouTubers, like having to do with like fish, because I'm obsessed with fish. I had like 3 aquariums in the house. I've got 2 now, because one's a fry tank, and then one of our fish tanks, we moved the fish into one of my other tanks. So I've got 2 like big 30-gallon fish tanks, one in Liam's room and one out here, and I want more. But so I like to watch a lot of things like with reptiles and other fish and things like that. Chase, hang on. You'd have Shelby and my service dog Gizmo. I'll have to worry about giving my dog venison. I'm allergic to it. You don't have to give them venison. You can steer clear of that and do other meats. Jinx the Whiff. My dad cooks Nova those really thick beef bones. Should I be worried? I don't know. Maybe not. I would say maybe you just try to get them to give them to a raw or boil them. I don't know. Get off of him. I don't blame you if he growls at you. You're laying on top of him. Growl at him. Go, grrr. Come here. Come on, down. Chase, let him out. Chase, please stop. I don't want to do this when I'm trying to do this. Singing fan, what do you have the most luck with using as high drive treats for teaching new skills and commands? Max loves hot dogs. He loves hot dogs, but we gotta be careful because he may have a slight beef allergy. I don't know. He's highly allergic to chicken. We use Zook's Minis salmon dog treats. He loves them. And then we had some baby snacks, and they were like broccoli. And Liam threw a bunch of them on the floor, so I broke them up tiny pieces and started using them. Max liked them. But I think it depends. Max doesn't really care about the quality of the treats. He'll eat any of them. So I think it depends on your dog. Kayla Ashcraft, on the subject of feeding, what do you typically feed Max? He gets 3 cups of his Blue Buffalo dog food every day at night. I only feed him at night. And then, like I said, when I remember, like every now and then, I'll give him like a can of salmon with, some vegetables or something. Well, like normally like half a can of salmon with vegetables. Or if I do just the salmon with vegetables, I'll do a full can with vegetables. And then sometimes I'll put it as a topper on his dog food and do like half a can on top of his dog food and like take out like a cup of his kibble. The Fry Life, Kaylee Ashcraft, the Fry Life is literally my favorite. And Drew Lynch. Also, Chronically Jackie. Yes, I do watch Chronically Jackie. I couldn't remember that. I do watch her from time to time. Caitlin Blanchard, you're the only service dog team I watch a lot. I'll watch others every now and then, but yours mainly. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Shelby with my service dog Gizmo. I have a YouTube channel. I'll have to go check it out. Let's see. Blue Buffalo is bad. What? I haven't heard that. I might have to look into that. I mean, it can't be too bad. It's salmon, and he's been doing really, really good on it. I'll have to really look into that, though. But, okay. Alright. So, guys, he has got to go to bed soon. So, he wants to go ahead and hang out. We got through all the questions. So, I'll try to do another live video soon now that we've got it working. And I know it was so late. And I said 8 o'clock, and that didn't happen. But we'll try to do another live video again soon. And, another maybe question and answer, things like that. Think up a bunch of more questions, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. And we will try to do this again really soon. I feel like there was something I was going to say. I don't remember. Y'all know I do that a lot in my videos. I'm like, I feel like I was going to say something, but I can't remember. Let me pause and come back to you. Can I pause? Kidding joke. But yeah, we'll do this again soon. I really enjoyed this. I definitely want to start doing this maybe like once a week just because I enjoy this. I enjoy connecting with everyone and really being able to actually talk to everyone. He just wrote. Y'all need to smile. Say cheese.
That was a smiley face.
Oh, well, I thought it was a smile. Okay, it's not a smiley. Say. That's a Sharpie! You're such an ass! Give it back. Give it back. No, my top. Give it back. I'm getting off of here. Stop!
I gotta go to work. Really? I'm going to work? Really? Oh.
Not my face!
On my arm, really?
Stop, don't put it on my face.
Everything that's invisible to...
Wear your long sleeve. Don't put it on my face! Stop!
Oh, you're fucked.
I was going for your neck.
You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked.
Stop it! Stop! You unarmed me! I'm unarmed!
Yeah.
I'm unarmed! I have a knife! No! Oh! Don't poke so hard, it hurts!
And stop fighting it! Stop fighting it!
No! I'm just doing this on!
I don't care! Smiley face is coming! You guys have smiley face.
I don't know what I look like. And it hurts! You poked!
Really? Oh my
That was,
God. People have to see my face.
oh my god, it's too low that it's my...
You're fucking crazy.
It'll come off! I'll get it off. Alright, great way to end it, guys. I have got to figure out where to go to end the live video. I don't know where to end it. How do I end this? It says stream now. Live chat. My face hurts. Those things are pointy. Oh, I can't breathe.
Go to your other. Oh my God.
Where do I end it? I don't know how to end my face. I hate you so bad.
I don't know.